Gentlemen, that is outstanding. You talk about you guys being ready to go. You guys have been ready to go for 6 weeks, man. That's the way to come out and set the tone for the day.
Yes, sir.
That's exactly what you guys did. You didn't bat an eye. And guess what? It wasn't quite the cleanest game either. But that's okay, man. We did what we had to do, and we took control of that game. I want you guys to enjoy this because we earned that. We're earning all of them right now. You're playing good football. All right? We got to keep going. We're into the next one, and the Jets are coming up. We got to be ready to go. It's a physical freaking team. We're going up to their place. Got 2 balls for 2 guys. There'll be more guys. There's a couple of things in here, man, that I really felt like tilted the game in our favor. Number one was we had a guy let a sack fumble. All right, sack fumble right before halftime. All right, the Kirby got a hold of, and that is Isaiah Boggs. All right, and the second is we come out in the third quarter, man, and we need a critical play on punt team to shift the momentum back. That punt team, it was spotless. CJ Moore. Man, stay hungry, just like you are, man. We're on fire right now. We got to keep it. All right, everybody go.
Go ahead, Jared. Go ahead, Jared. Hey, it feels different, right? It feels different. The work and the results speak to that. Keep doing it. Reload this week, one more at a time. One more at a time. Stick together. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We 3 Kings in the building. Big Willie Styles, King. AB joining us shortly. It's a great day to be a Detroit Lions, man. As we come out with a sounding victory over the Minnesota Vikings, which I believe everyone in this channel called last week that this game right here was, and I said, was the most important game of this season, and they came out and handled business soundly today. Oh, man, it was exciting from beginning to end watching this game. King, man, how you feeling today, man?
Man, I'm feeling great. 10-2 Vikings team, man. Take care of business. We let one slip away last time against the Vikes, but to go out here and take care of it, I never felt like, we let go of control of this game. The Vikes made some plays here and there, but I felt like we controlled this game majority of the game. So to go out there and play a game through and through, defensive, offensive side of the trenches, both played well today. Big plays from certain guys. It felt good, man. It felt really good.
And it felt good for us to be the ones to capitalize on other teams' mistakes. Right. And that was the big difference in this game, that I felt that the mistakes that were being made by Minnesota is what propelled us to take leads and maintain the victory. Like I said, it was a bend don't break on this defensive side, because of course Jefferson went crazy, had over 200 yards, it was 213 yards, which is his career high right now, but he didn't have no touchdowns. so that tells you, all them yards was good, but when it mattered the most, they hunkered down, especially on the play, which they tried to do be a little fancy, do a little trickeration, try to do a little jump pass, but it didn't work out. And that's why Bugs received that the game ball, because he blew the play up.
Yeah. Our D-line today came and they showed up today. From Bugs to Houston with the sack to Hutchinson with the big sack, and then the pressure right after. That was big time, man. Going out there doing the Icewood Hutch, man. Like I said, big plays, big moments. That's what you need. Even though our secondary is a little banged, Okuda was sick, so he was in and out of the game. We did enough. We did enough on our defense. The worst ranked defense in the league, right? Yeah, sure. Our defense has been showing up, man, these last couple of games, man, and it's been good to watch.
It's definitely have. And it's also good to see your man J-Mo get his first touchdown of the season off the first catch of the season.
Yeah.
Wide, stupid open. Could not mess that one up, man. It was just good to see. And that really, I think, just especially with the crowd being it was a packed house. That just, I think that at that moment, that really elevated the game to where we knew that we had this game. I feel like from that moment, like we really had this game. And like you said, King, we didn't relinquish, what we had going on. Minnesota, they were going to make plays here and there. We just had to sustain and not, like you said, make the big mistakes. The most mistakes that we made came in the first quarter, in which and it was basically off of one drive, which was the one they scored the 7 points on. But other than that, it was a clean game for the most part, and no turnovers on our end, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is a recipe for us, winning this game. We did leave some points out there, missed field goals, opportunities there, but not nitpicking on anything. But it's just good to see good sound football being played in Detroit.
Yeah, and a good sound coaching staff, man, calling great plays out there. Dan Campbell did a hell of a job managing this football game. That punt play was, I mean, come on, saying it couldn't have been more perfect timing to do that fake punt, man. And
now normally he would be getting criticized on making no type of plays, but it worked. Yeah. And it was at a critical time, because if it didn't work, of course, he'd have took a lot of heat, because you do some trickery in their territory, you give them a short field. But it worked this time. So praises to the coaching staff for seeing that and keeping the possession going. Like I said, they didn't leave it to where we were in a position to where we had to guess on whether or not how this game outcome was going to be,
Right.
And shout out to Ben Johnson, knock on wood, because that man is going to get a lot of buzz this offseason for some positions, because the play calling, my goodness, the play calling, it's been exceptional. I have not seen this type of play calling ever here as a Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah, it's been a very, very long time since we've seen some mix up and some trickery and some, I mean, dude,
scheming, the scheme of it all. It's remarkable.
No, shout out to the big fellas, right? Shout out to the big fellas, Panay Sewell. Panay Sewell out there catching passes, bro.
Catching passes, belly flopping for the first down. What a play call. And then there was another play call where they had St. Brown lined up in the backfield. Wow. Had the commentators confused. He's like, I see them lined in the backfield. I didn't know how they was going to do it, but having them pull around, getting your playmakers the ball, and that's the main thing that I like with this offense. Getting your playmakers the ball. St. Brown is your playmaker. You need to get a yard around that corner. There's nobody that's really just stopping him once he gets going with that, after catch radius that he produces with. And it when you got a third and long and you can rely on him to come across and get the first down, or third and short, it makes you relieved. You get a sense of relief. No, okay, we got third down, but I know this is going to be a good play call coming up.
Yeah, I mean, man, just like I said, from end to end, the play calling on both sides of the football, knowing when to bring everything and apply that pressure on guys like Kirk Cousins. He doesn't do well in those situations. So, I mean, hey, we let Jefferson get off. Go ahead, get off, get all your little stats or whatever. we played to win the football game. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Have all them yards.
Now, King, I gotta confess something, man.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta confess something. I'm okay with Goff.
Okay, you're living.
And I'm not only gonna say this, but I gotta put this question up here now. Goff or Pro Bowl?
Goff is not a Pro Bowler simply because of the first half of the season. I would love to see something like that, but that's going to drag him. He plays for the Lions, and they're going to use that against him.
Right, but with him, now if the Lions went out,
if they
playoff bound, and like I said, he had the stats in the first 4 or 5 games, but there were still some losses in there. So the way he's playing, I mean, I'm taking the ranks off of Goff, because I can say this: he's enough to where he can get us to a certain degree that I'm okay he could be the placeholder. I'm okay with him being a placeholder until either, we work on getting that young guy coming in, either in the draft or anything. What I'm saying is I'm not in the rush to get rid of him. Like, until we get that, while we work on the next, is what I'm saying.
we said that last last week, man. Hey,
Yeah.
let him finish out, you know what I'm saying, his contract. And if he does show that he can be that guy, fine. But based off the history of Goff, we've seen this before. This is not new to Lions fans. This is new. I expect that because most Lions fans are casuals. I expect that. They don't watch other teams.
Right. But see, the thing with Goff now than it was back then. Like when they went to the Super Bowl, he had, like I said, greatness all around him during that time, and he was young. What he has now is that he's matured in his game, and we have greatness around him. So with that combination of him just being a game manager, I have to take a step back. Like, I know he's not going to be the dynamic. I see it, but if he could be the game manager, and I accredit Ben Johnson for using his strengths. You know what I'm saying? The way the play callers go, it's not like he's looking to ask Goff to be something that he's not. We know he's he's not a lot of things, but it's, to me, shout out to Ben Johnson for you utilizing what you have. And that's why I'm worried about him being gone, because they seeing like, listen, the play calling that he's doing, he uses the strength of what he has in Goff, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. I think we get at least one more season out of Ben Johnson before he goes. But we got to think, you know what I'm saying, this team. There's your Jared Goff. Jared Goff is your Cade McNamara. He can get you there, but when he gets to that cup, it's just not enough. You know what I'm saying? He got them to the Super Bowl, but he wasn't enough for the Super Bowl.
He got shut down at that time. And which, like I said, for the Lions, getting there is a step. Like I said, we're taking steps. Like you said,
right.
we come from 3-13. We came from a rough 1-6 start in the beginning of the season. Now we're 6-7. Could have been potentially 7-6, and in some cases, we could have been 8-4. You know, but right now, looking at what we have going on, you know, right now with the remaining schedule, we have the Jets, have Carolina, Chicago, and Green Bay. All which we probably would be favored in all of those games remaining on the schedule.
Yeah, toughest game most likely is the Jets. Jets, you know, they're a tough team. You know what I'm saying? They play just as tough as we do, you know what I'm saying? So also there's a little extra there. Robert Saleh wanted to be here, you know what I'm saying? So you're probably going to show.
And a lot of people wanted Robert Saleh to be here as well.
I was one of them.
Yeah.
Turned out he's a good coach. But there's also, when it comes to the players, man, it's gonna be interesting. You got guys in Aiden Hutchinson, Sauce Gardner,
two potential defensive player of the year defensive rookie players of the year candidates next week.
And then Sauce Gardner's homeboy and J-Mo. You know what I'm saying? They homies.
You know, Sauce Gardner, he's a Detroit kid too, you know. Yeah. He's a Detroit kid, so you already know how it's going to be. So that's going to be a great game next week. And that could, you know, potentially, like I said, keep us in the trajectory in the right direction. But I felt this game right here, if we got this game right here, I wanted to say it doesn't like relaxes us, but it puts us in great opportunity to be able to make some noise. Like I said, trying to push to make a playoff. You know, we were in the beginning of the season, we were like, you know what, this team is nowhere near. We shouldn't even be discussing playoffs. But right now we're in the midst in December. Detroit Lions talking about making the playoffs, in which we haven't had that type of discussion in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and then you look at the beginning of the season where most of the fan base turned their back on the Lions, you know what I'm saying? So, and knowing the situation, we weren't healthy, you know, and we weren't ready. We had a bunch of young guys and rookies out there. They wasn't ready yet. And like I said, when you're missing your core pieces, they out of the game, it's going to be tough. Well, now we're seeing these guys. We got more guys available. More chemistry is there. More development from our rooks out there. Everything is coming together at the right time. So the Lions are hot right now. Yeah. And hopefully we can ride this wave and run the table to the end of the season.
And we've been hearing a lot of, you know, the Lions with the offense being the next, you know, greatest show on turf. And they've been offensively, they've been playing, you know, very stellar, you know, against, top defenses against, any type of defense. Like, we could play with anybody offensively. It was just the fact that we had to get some resemblance of a defense. And with the defense getting turnovers this last 8-9 games, they got a turnover. That helps us. I know we're going to give up some yards, because like I said, we're banged up in that secondary. But you get those key turnovers, that turnover in the red zone, and we didn't have several this year where we didn't got turnovers in the red zone, helps us tremendously. And it damn sure helped us today to keep Minnesota at bay.
Man, like you said, timely plays today. So many timely plays.
Yes.
That's what you need to be successful in this league. You need players that's going to step up in the biggest moments of the game and make plays, man. I can't disagree with Daryl at all. Trust the process. The process.
Like your boy Azzaloni out there, making hits,
making plays. You hear me? Back there in the backfield, making play. Even my boy Jared Davis.
Oh man,
plays today.
Out there just sticking his helmet and everything. That's all he do. Just run into something. Listen, give me something, Jared Davis. Just give me something to run into. Just point to it. Just point to it. I'm running into it. That's all you need.
Now, William. They need to put him back on the practice squad. That boy, that penalty, man, I was ready to jump through the TV when he had that penalty for the taunting, man. Like, you barely you don't even, people don't even know who you are, and you out here taunting players. Sit down.
But honestly, I felt that should have been both ways, because even if he talked, he didn't put his hands on him, and my man came and headbutted him. So how they let him talk, but he let the man come and headbutt him. So, but either way, like you said. Go on. You seen Dan Campbell, like, get him out of here, man. Get him out. But with special team guys, man, when they only get that chance out there on the field, they be so hyped, man. They sometimes it goes overboard. But I thought it should have went both ways, because he may have been jawing at him, but he didn't put his hands to him like the other guy did.
Yeah, man, definitely had a lot of players hot, and people in the fans, in the stands, were also hot about it. But we got to talk about this situation, because I feel like, with Jared Goff, man, I don't think people are quite understanding what we're saying, because I'm getting a lot of pushback still from Lions fans. We're not saying that Jared Goff is a bad quarterback. We're saying, is he the guy that's going to get you there when you get to that point? We have no reason right now to believe that, because we've seen him get to the cup before and not be able to overflow. Mm-hmm. So that's where we are with Jared Goff.
And
go ahead.
No, what I was going to say in that regards, if I'm wrong, I don't mind being wrong. I would admit I'm wrong.
I hope I'm wrong.
Listen, I would be wrong. I would be the first to say, listen, I would have my golf shirt on, dancing around praising and everything if we're wrong. Like I said, I said today, listen, I'm gonna let up off of Goff. I can see where he fits right now. So I'm like, okay, I'm not in a hurry to get rid of him. I was heavy on the Lamar Jackson push. I'm still a little bit intrigued by it, but I'm not. If we don't, I'm fine. If we decide to, like I said, continue on with them next season, I'm fine with that. Get us, like I said, get some more weapons on defense, sure up the offense, make sure everyone's healthy. We can get to the point to where we're making playoff pushes. But when we talk about that next level, when we get to the point to where we feeling like we can compete against everyone and make a run in the playoffs and then potentially Super Bowl, then that's where that quarterback situation get a little bit dicey. And if whether or not we want to be able to continue on with Goff, it's up in there. But I'm willing to be wrong on that one.
Yeah, and I see people saying already, hey, Goff, he's fine for now. Let's wait for Caleb Williams. Listen, if the Lions keep playing the way they are, you don't have a shot at Caleb Williams.
Exactly.
So the Lions are going to still have to make that decision. And I still, as far as the quarterback class that we have right now, bro, I'm not giving the first rounder for these dudes. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't see what everyone else sees. I see some pretty okay guys out here. But none of them are good enough to say, hey, I'm getting this guy to replace Jared Goff. That's just not what I see right now in this quarterback class.
Right. And the only reason that I feel that, not the only reason, but one of the reasons that I would say just move on from golf is what it could do as far as like the cap space goes, what we're paying golf and things of that nature. But this league, quarterbacks is overpaid. All these quarterbacks is getting overpaid right now. So I'm not going to be too much into that. Like I said, I'm gonna kick back a little bit, King. I'm gonna kick back a little bit.
Look, we got to talk about it, Willie. I just see it pop up in the comments. Listen, I was arguing with my homeboy at work. I'm not on the Will Anderson train, bro. I'm not.
I am.
It's just like I just feel like in big games he goes Kayvon Thibodeau on you. You know what I'm saying? He just poofs, he disappears. I'd rather have Carter personally.
I want both. I want both. But the top one, because if we're looking at the position of need, I will go with Carter. And that interior would definitely solidify some things. Anderson gives you a dynamic of duality, which he can rush the passer and he can drop in coverage. We're gonna need that, especially when it comes to having depth. He's the type of guy that can put his hand in the dirt and rush the passer, or he can drop back in coverage. The guy's got speed. The guy, he's fast and he got moves. So
that sounds familiar, don't it?
Yeah, but it's not. But the thing is this, though, if you look at it, it's working for them over there. It wasn't what we needed this year. What we got this year in Hutchinson, that's what we needed. But what Anderson brings, that duality, especially when you got a guy like Rodrigo, you put him next to Rodrigo with the speed the new two have, that opens up a lot. And it saves the secondary too. If you think about it, it's like having that speed at linebacker, man. That's the way the game is shaping up, especially when you got running backs coming out the backfield, and we got to chase down guys in our division like Justin Fields, and if Love is going to take over for Aaron Rodgers soon enough, and then these other quarterbacks that we got to deal with, you're going to need some speed at that position, which having him would definitely help our cause. But like I said, Carter, to me, I'm a line guy first anyway. The lineman in me is going to want to have some dogs up front, and looking at him and the way McNeil has come on late in the season to pair them up would definitely cause some havoc, man. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Never run the football ever
safely. You won't run the football safely, man.
Yeah, that would be interesting, man. Like you said, I wouldn't be upset with either, man. I just prefer Carter right now over Anderson, simply because Anderson just non-existent this year. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, a lot of it non-existent. It was because they schemed for him. They schemed, and he still won the award for best defensive player in college football. So he still put in work, even with them scheming for him. So a lot of it is, like I said, when you got a guy like him, knowing it's just like how Clowney was. Clowney, he came out, it was like he was all world. But when he got into that next year, you didn't really see nothing from him because, one, he was hurt a lot, and two, like they're going to scheme more to take him out the game. But looking at what the skill set that he brings with what we already have, that's what you got to think about. We're not asking him to come in to be that guy. We got a guy over right now that's doing that in Hutchinson and a few other players, but to come in and bring him in with what we already have with Kuda out there and Hutchinson and Rodrigo, you're adding in something that depth what we need with athletic guys. He's an athletic guy that is an upgrade from what we are already dealing with at that linebacker position.
And that may be fine, you know what I'm saying? But we know how fan base reacts to stuff, the media. Being drafted in the top 3, they're going to expect him to be that guy. And that's where I think it's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not really keen on predestining players when they get to the NFL. But as far as what I've seen this season, I don't like it. I don't like it. A lot of teams, they scheme for players too. I'm probably sure some teams scheme from Aiden Hutchinson. Probably sure Ohio State did too before he got drafted.
Yeah, Georgia did that in the championship game last year, which it worked for them. But like I said, being in the NFL is a different league, especially when you got other guys on the other side that you just can't keen on it. Early on, like you said, with Hutchinson, early on in the season, they were able to hone in on Hutchinson a lot because we wasn't getting any other pushes from anybody else on that defense.
Right.
But now you got guys getting healthy. You got guys like Kaminsky and Pascal, Akra every once in a while in Houston that are making, and McNeil that are making it hard for guys to just be able to isolate, one individual. And that's what I mean with Anderson. If we were to get him, if we're not, that's okay. But if we were to get him, he's not going to be one to where, okay, we got to sit there and focus on him because you got guys on the other side, in the middle, on the corners, in the safeties that this defense has a chance if we do this right, not only with draft, but in free agency to make a complete 360. Hell, they've already made strides this season going from the worst defense in the league, maybe down to, the back end, maybe midsection right now with the plays they've been making.
Right. So I don't know. Okay, so we got a situation where obviously we got 2 first-round draft picks.
Indeed.
What is our combination? Where are we going? Are we using one on the quarterback? Are we going double defense? Are we going, what direction are we going with those two?
Me personally, I feel we need to do double defense. Quarterback situation, there's available quarterbacks that's going to be there if we want to be able to groom a quarterback in the second round. You got somebody, like someone said, Anderson. He may slip in back in that round. There's other guys out there that look pretty decent that we can groom. That's not, Hendon Hooker. With him tearing that ACL, his stock dropped the way he could drop back in them, later in the second round. We're not in need of a quarterback right now, so he can heal up and we can still, get him going. Another guy I'm intrigued about, Malik Cunningham out of Cincinnati. He's one of them nice dual threats that you can start molding. And that's why I feel like I'm not in a rush anymore with Goff, because now we could draft a guy out there in the second round, not have to use the 2 picks in the first round, get a guy in the second round that we could just sit back and groom and allow Goff to be able to play out his, his term, if you would say.
So we go something like Carter, Anderson, Sewell.
Carter, Sewell. If Sewell is there, man, that would be nice. Or like I said, we need help in that secondary too. It's a lot of good guys coming out this this draft that that could definitely help the secondary. So the offense right now, it seems to be pretty solid to where I don't see what need we would need to fill offensively that we need to take them 2 picks on early in the first round, in my opinion. What offensive need right now we need to put there outside of maybe having another guard,
right?
But we could fill that in free. To me, I consider we could fill that in free agency if we need to. Receiver wise, you see that if those guys are healthy, we got depth. Running backs, you don't need to draft running backs in the first round no more,
right? Absolutely not.
So to me, let's go ahead and give Aaron Glenn what he's been salivating for in some play, because he's playing the young guys. Look at all the young guys that was making plays today.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby Joseph Jacobs, Rodrigo, guys up from Hutchinson, Pascal. All these are young guys that we've drafted over the last couple of years that have been showing that they're making plays.
Yeah, I ain't got no problem with it. I'm all for it. What I'm saying? Whatever combination that they decide to go with, I am absolutely all for it, man. I would prefer defense, to be honest. I would rather go and get a quarterback after that first round. Whether we go D lineman and linebacker or D lineman and secondary, I'm fine with it. But I just want defense. It's time for us to start adding pieces to this defense, not only in the draft, but if we can go and get something in free agency, let's do that too. We might need another running back in the running back room, but I'm not willing to use a draft pick to do that. DeAndre Swift I love, DeAndre Swift so much as a player, but he just hasn't he hasn't stayed healthy. So it's a lot of ways you can curve it, a lot of ways to look at it. I think we pretty solid in the receiving core, having Amon-Ra St. Brown and J-Mo and Shark, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, on the offensive side of the ball, only thing I can see you do is add depth later on. But other than that, I want defense. I just want defense.
King, listen, DJ Shark has been balling these last couple of weeks, man. He's showing why. Listen, that 1-year deal is working out well for the Detroit Lions right now.
Right. Yeah. Man, listen. Like I said, more unfairness from the fan base, right? Shark comes in here, no new quarterback, no type of chemistry, no nothing, trying to get himself acclimated into the offense, everything, you know what I'm saying? Us being unfair fans as usual. Oh, Shark is trash, man. We wasted, so we wasted money.
It's the emotion, man. That's what it is.
Right.
Fans get emotional with it when you don't see the results right away. And the guy understand. Listen, we got a full season. We got to get through. Chemistry has to get built. People have to be healthy. The schemes have to work, and it's starting to show itself. So
right.
For guys that are not used to this, I think you guys need to pump your brakes and watch. I think watch with not with the emotion, but with skill. Understand what these positions ask for, what the play calling is, and what they're doing out there. It's more than what you guys see on the field. And that's why we here at We3Kings like to discuss these, because I know we got to deal with a lot of fans that just don't fully understand the game, but they're just coming from a fan's point of view.
Right. We got a lot of couch coaches.
Indeed. Daryl, what's good, man?
What's good, man? What's good, fellas?
Hey, man, we chilling today. Listen, you got something you want to add?
Man, I didn't watch the whole entire game. I was in and out. I came and watched the fourth quarter, man. It's a great feeling when the Lions win, man. It's a great feeling. Jared Goff. That's the best game he played as a Lion. That was his best game, hands down. That was a great win, huge win, a division win. But you needed it. We got a tough one coming up against the Jets next. After that, we got a favorable schedule for the rest of the way, and you got to stay the course. Trust the process. Stay the course. Take a game at a time. We have chances. We can get in that wild card spot, and anything can happen after that. So
you know what I want to happen? I want us to get in that wild card spot and play Dallas and beat Dallas. I was thinking about that today. I would love that. I would love if that would happen. Man.
I wouldn't want nothing more than to beat cheating ass Dallas.
Yes.
And let it be in Dallas too, man.
Yes.
No party buses this time.
Listen. We speaking that into existence, fellas. That's what it's gonna be, and that's what we gonna see.
And Big Willie, that'll help. That'll help my other team, the Eagles, out.
We ain't talking about them damn Eagles. What's going on,
brothers? What's going on?
Listen,
what's up?
We got to bring you in because you got to drop some of your, enthusiasm on this here line.
Oh man, you already know, man. I was about to hop in the shower. I saw that link. I'm all, I gotta hop on, talk to my bros real quick.
Indeed. What you got for us, man?
Oh man, sure, it just feel good, man. Everybody been talking about this game going back to the beginning of the week. People saying Vikings like, oh man, please, this other Lions, they ain't about to do nothing. They ain't about to do nothing. They're like, oh really? They really don't know what's about to hit them.
And you know what's crazy is that a lot of the media, especially on these, ESPN, all of them had picked the Lions to take it.
Yeah,
a lot of people believed in the Lions. Eventually,
it gets to a point where if you know anything about football, the records and stuff they get thrown out of the window at this point of the season. Who's playing good football is what they're looking at. Mm-hmm. And the Lions have been playing good football for the last 5 to 6 games.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like I said, for me, easy pick. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was going to kick the Vikings' ass because the Vikings are the most fraudulent team I've ever seen in my life.
They were.
They dangle it out there and then they snatch it away from you. every single time, man.
Trust me, they kept looking up in a lot of these games, man. They looked up so much,
man,
it was ridiculous.
You got a fraudulent quarterback in Kirk Cousins, who was living in Michigan at one point. It was still a Chicago fan, by the way. I was glad to
I don't get that, but
just the buster all the way around, man. The college that he went to, everything buster. But I was glad to see him get beat today.
Oh man, trust me. It's like it was bad for them when Vegas themselves, the Vegas said Lions was gonna win.
Yeah.
How the heck is a 5-7 team?
It's favored.
Literally is favored to win against a team. That lets you know right there. They already know what's up. They're like, man, y'all Vikings ain't nothing, bro. These Lions, this team ain't nothing to mess with. Like, y'all about to find out.
And they were saying Minnesota is the most 10-2 fraudulent team in history.
Literally, because so many of those wins they got, they looked up, bro.
Yeah, and they should have lost to that Buffalo one. They should. There's other games they should have lost, and the losses they had, they got blown out.
Yeah, they should have lost to Buffalo, and we should have beat Buffalo.
Man, don't remind me of that. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
but like you said, we're on a good trajectory right now, man, and we have a great chance right now. Yeah. And
oh yeah,
I guess we can officially say this. I would say that Dan Campbell maybe officially off the hot seat. Can we say that now?
Oh yeah, he's off the. Oh yeah,
it's been a couple of games since he.
Man, I did what he did the last 6 games. Come on, man.
Yeah. The contract they gave him
5 out of 6 wins.
The contract they gave him and Brad Holmes, I never felt like they was going to fire Dan Campbell. The fan base wanted him fired. That's what the fan base does. Dude. They want coach fired every 2 years.
Right.
So they just gave him that.
Hey, why we never get nowhere doing it?
I'm about to fire that man.
Yeah,
fans just don't understand. Like, bro, you think getting rid of a coach after 2 years is gonna change something? No, you're constantly starting over. It's
this man. Listen, Wario's fat ass left you for dead when he left. Him, Bob Quinn, and Fat Patricia left you for dead, man. You had to first strip that down. Same way that Stan Van Gundy, Wario's fat brother Wario, thing, man.
But could you imagine just by the beginning of the season that we're now saying that Dan Campbell is off the hot seat and Jared Goff is our quarterback?
For right now, he's our quarterback. Right now.
I was labeled as Mr. Excuse to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I kept saying the Lions are injured. They don't have the personnel. That is ABC 1, 2, 3 football. If you don't have the components, the goddamn car is not going to run. It's not rocket science. How when guys come back, you got your receiving core back. You ain't missing Reynolds. You ain't missing Shark. You ain't missing Amon-Ra St. Brown. People are actually playing football. Look what's happening. They're winning.
That's why everyone playing come together, man.
But to the Lions fan base, oh my God, that's triangles, squares, and all type of symbols that they don't understand.
I swear, they too emotional, man. They be like, oh my God, we won the 6. I'm like, bro, over half our team is injured. What do you thought was going to happen?
Well, those
coaches still learn on the job, but it seemed like he constantly learned from his mistakes. The last couple of weeks just showed it. He ain't making these dumb decisions at the end of the game, just giving teams wins.
Right, and like you said, coaches that's learning on the job, and like I said, a lot of those comments come from fair weather fans, like I said, who really don't understand the game and the processes of the ins and outs. But that's why, like you said, that's why we're here. That's why you're seeing where they're progressing. It's something that a turnaround in the season like this we haven't seen in years. To start off where we started off as and where we're going right now is remarkable. So shout out to Dan Campbell and the coaching staff. A lot of those guys are former players, so they understand the grit of it all. Shout out to the Detroit Lions for showing themselves to be worthy of playing against anybody, and they're proving themselves week after week. And
come on, man, just stop. Come on.
They're playing inspiring football. Listen, I woke up today anxious to watch this game. I haven't been up anxious to watch a Lions game in years. This game today had me up early in the morning.
Listen, this was even though it's technically not. Today was the playoffs. That's how that's the buzz it was getting. If you was on Twitter, if you was on social media today, and you seen all the videos and the pictures, the fans was there early. It wasn't no
Literally.
late
They weren't
fans
playing.
when people went in.
They
They
weren't
were
playing.
there early.
Yeah,
That's the
for
type
sure.
of buzz this game had, man.
They another sold out stadium. It was another sold out stadium at
Standing
that,
room
bro.
only. Definitely
Standing room, everything. Like, look, 66,000 that was in that area. So you know that the freaking opposing team, all Vikings, all they heard was just nothing but noise.
Yeah. And I was most proud of that. I was most proud of out of my two teams today, at least one team didn't have a bunch of purple and gold in the crowd, and that's the Lions. They wasn't disgraceful like the Pistons.
Listen,
oh God,
listen.
Oh,
Listen,
man.
please
listen. We gonna
don't.
talk. Listen, we gonna get into that next. We gonna get into that next, King, because I got something for that because I was there tonight.
Dang, you had to see.
All right, and listen, we gonna get into that next. So we gotta give our little raps about the Lions. Then we gonna rap about the Pistons. But anything else we gotta jump on about the Lions, King, right now.
I think we all set.
So
all right.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm going to head out, guys.
All right, man. Appreciate you for joining us, man. Because it's time to switch it up, man.
Man.
King, I watched that game.
I was so hot.
I was hot with the refs.
Let Willie go.
Can I go? Listen, I was there. Me and shout out to my bro, Culture. He went with me today. And to see all these LA Faker fans in the damn stand screaming behind my head, all around cheering, gobbling AD and LeBron, all like, no, listen, you mother, I'm trying to keep my composure. I'm trying not to, get no FCC violations, but you MFers who call yourselves from the D out there repping the purple and gold, cheering. I'm
gonna let you finish your statement, but let me say it for you right quick, Willie.
Go ahead.
You bitch made disloyal motherfucker. in my Denzel voice, you mother, y'all some bro. I swear, you bronsexuals make me sick. Oh, you make me sick, man. I'm watching TV. I hear nothing but Lakers fans in the crowd cheering. It's not a road game for them. Half of y'all come all the way back from 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
y'all didn't think the Pistons had a chance back then. I remember vividly.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit was not giving the Pistons a chance.
Listen, nobody gave him a chance, but listen, we put it through. But being there, man, and seeing how that crowd was split up with all these goddamn, it was irritating to sit there and have to listen to all them damn cheers, man. For the like you said, the bronsexuals and the Anthony Davis street clothes anthem going on. But it was a great game. I'll kid you not. Listen, the atmosphere was mixed, but saying we held it down. We held our own. The Detroit Pistons fan base, they held it down like they supposed to, man. We held it down. And it's a lot of, like I said, once LeBron retire from the Lakers or move on from the Lakers, all that Laker fan base that we had here tonight is going to disappear. Trust and believe. They're just some fair weather fans because they're LeBron James fans. They're not real Lakers fans. I was a Laker fan when Kobe was here. BS. Y'all just some fair weather fans because LeBron is there right now. But moving on, we're going to get into the discussion about the game. The game, the Pistons did lose a close one tonight. And like I said, it came down to the wire. Playmakers make the plays. LeBron James and AD, they made the plays late in the game. LeBron driving, kicking out for the three when we got it down to 2 in the last seconds of the game. Listen, guys was, hustling out there, but there were some empty possessions that watching that game that really could have made a difference. And there's some hustle plays that I keep on reiterating, like if we just get a little more hustle about us, that oomph, and it's like it was a lot of loose balls out there that they watch hit the ground or watch away without get after it. It's like And it's infuriating to see that if they could do that, it could make a difference. But tonight, it was Bogdanovich night, man.
He was unbelievable.
He willed the Pistons back into this game when it looked like it was getting away from us, like LA was starting to pull away.
Yeah.
Listen, he's like, listen, put it on my back. And I know there have been times where he may have done too much, but tonight
was
he did everything that he could, and it was
right.
it was great to see, especially going up against, you know, so he went toe to toe with the LeBron and the AD on the other side. Listen, y'all not about to leave me out here. And shout out to Bohan. Like I said, I made my tweet out there. Listen, I'm appreciation post for him doing what he did, which allowed other guys to come in and make some critical shots. Burks, Kojo had some good moments tonight. Yeah. Bay, you know, he came through in a few times. Bagley as well. It's just that, like I said, watching this game, we just couldn't pull it out, and I was hoping that we could, because our damn show was gonna act a fool in front of all them so-called Laker fans that was out there. Oh. I might have wouldn't need to buy money
man.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah, man. Like I said,
any of you Lakers fans that's in here right now that y'all call yourself Laker fans, I'm with all the smoke. So leave a comment if you want to, because we damn sure gonna get at it tonight. You goddamn fakers. On my damn nerves. Listen, y'all cheering on. Woo! Listen, I was sober tonight. I didn't have no drinks. But if I would have smuggled my drinks like I usually do, it might have been a different story.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Anthony Davis is playing some out of his mind basketball right now. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way, shape, or form in my mind I thought we was going to slow that down. For LeBron to come out and do what he did today, like I said, we know what we are when it comes to wing players. We're not the most defensive, so I figured LeBron would get off. And, you know, like I said, I knew it would be a tough game, and if we did come out, it would obviously be close, but we fell short. You know, it just is what it is. We're not at that point right now. You know, Bojan did with his absolute thing today. But like I said, man, when you look at it, it's great to see on the offensive end. But if we giving up the same amount of points on the defense, it almost zeroes out. And LeBron did exactly what the hell he wanted to do today, because he's LeBron James,
right? And then I hate watching them go up against AD, because they give him every single call. Man. It's like they blow the whistle before he gets his offensive move going. I swear,
the refs was terrible today. The refs was terrible. They was terrible. They was terrible.
They give him so many calls. It's like, my goodness. Listen, I know y'all trying to keep him from getting injured because he's street clothes officially. He went down a couple of times, but my goodness, man, he's big for a reason. Like,
and the Pistons wasn't getting the calls on a consistent basis.
No, because in them last seconds, man, in the crowd, you could notice, like, they mugged Bohan.
Oh yeah,
a couple of times.
And the ref was right there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you heard some of the crowd reactions just watching it on TV, like I was, man. I mean, you gotta. It's something that you kind of got to know, right? It's LeBron James, it's Anthony Davis, it's veteran teams, the Lakers. We got a bunch of young bucks on our squad. We're not gonna win the call battle. That's just not gonna happen. They're gonna cater to these longtime stars, and that's just what they did out there. We got a rookie and Mr. Durant out there going up against Anthony Davis. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to go his way regardless, no matter who it is defending him. We're not the best defensively when Durant is not on the floor, so that didn't help either. So
and you know, that transition to the next topic, we're going to like the change in the starting lineup, because over the last couple of days, Durant have been put into that starting lineup more or less for, like you said, defensive purposes, you know, making us have a bigger lineup. You know, this Sadiq Bey has accepted his role as, you know, coming off the bench, still trying to find, you know, what works. For me, I like the way the season's going. You need to do these type of things just to see how things meshes together, and putting them in that start lineup. You know, it hasn't. You know, it's been up and down. You know, I can see, like I said, with him It's just him had to get more comfortable on the offensive end. Once he gets comfortable offensively, as far as like the pick and roll and then his moves going, the sky's the limit. But with Casey, like I said, I guess he listened to the podcast because we talked about him changing up that starting lineup, and he's making the adjustment. So, what do you think?
I'm in the minority with this situation. I don't like it. I don't like Durant starting. I don't, and there's a reason why. Defensively, we need him. The reason why I don't like Durant starting in this game specifically, you're going against an offensive player in Anthony Davis.
You got every foul call if you blow your breath on him. I hate that.
You need to be able to at least try to match some of that. And on possessions, you've seen guys in like Bagley use spin moves and that left hand jump hook to score over Anthony Davis. So I personally would have rather had Bagley to start. My thing with Durant is we got a ways to go when it comes to offensive development for him right now. Yes, I love him starting certain games, but tonight I don't think that was the move. He's not going to give you the point production, and at the same time, young fellas still got a lot to body development to get done. Yeah, he's strong, but when it comes to endurance and when it comes to stamina, things like that, he gets tired legs at moments when I watch him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the one that's scared to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? He gets tired legs. He's not moving as swiftly as he should. Or sometimes when you feel like, hey, man, you could have got that rebound, or you could have went for that block.
And that's going to happen because, like I said, these are young guys that used to not playing this type of games. And it's the same goes with Ivy. You're starting to see those guys hit a little bit of that rookie wall, like everyone goes through, where okay, you got to fight through some things. You're getting jet lag. You're not, finishing like you used to, because you're not used to playing at this type of pace. You got an 82 game season where you're used to only playing, 30 to 40 games in the season is stretched out, not back to back or playing 3 or 4 games out of the week. So these rookies got to get used to their bodies, has to get adjusted to it. So hopefully they will get over that hump. But like I said, this is part of it. All rookies go through it. You go through a slump. I'm hoping that Jaden Ivey gets over his, because over the last couple of games, mentally he's kind of been out of focus because he's been turning the ball over a lot and not finishing like how he's supposed to. And having Durant in the lineup, I felt it was interesting. I didn't feel, like you said, I'm with you, Mark, that they should do it right now, but I could see what they're doing because, like I said, we're not in a position right now where winning games is not going to be at a premium at this point because we're missing the most key point of our team, which is Cade. And we don't know. They still haven't made a full announcement whether or not he's coming back or not. So it's a lot of, I would like to say, what ifs right now. We're dealing with a lot of what ifs right now just because we just don't have the main focal piece in our lineup right now.
Yeah, man, that situation with Cade is like I said, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? I talked about it in my last video. I kind of got a gut feeling that, he probably end up getting the surgery.
Yeah,
I think it's to be honest, I think it's the best option
in
a season like this. I think it's the best option. I think you want to go ahead and get whatever needs to be corrected while we're having a season like this.
Yeah,
get yourself ready and prepared for next season, man. Nobody wants to hear that, especially the player himself. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but man, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it, man, because like I said, you come back, you feel like it healed up enough, and then you run into another issue. You just prolong the situation.
Yeah,
just go ahead and take care of business. Get yourself healthy. You know what I'm saying? So that gives other guys like Ivy. You seen him when he was off the floor today. You seen Ivy in the situation at the end of the game where he got to run some point guard. So you get other guys an opportunity. And, being Cade, you have to understand, listen, I'm still the guy on this team. So when these dudes get this opportunity, they develop. And who is that better for? That's better for me also. Because when I come back, they're already ready. They're ready to roll. They're running already. They already got things in order. So when I come back, I can just fit in like a glove, man, and we can move forward. But get the surgery. Listen, Me personally, I want him to get the surgery. I just get it corrected. Get it corrected.
Yeah.
It's no better time to do it than now because we're not finna win games. Get it corrected.
And I agree. It, the fact that we're not really going nowhere right now. I would like to see some wins. Of course, the wins is good, but the way things are going, if we're prolonging this, because if he could have had the surgery now, that means we don't have to wait and he doesn't be ready for training camp or the summer because we prolong it for another month or two, which we could have had, like you said, already had to correct it. So he'd be good to go by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not do that. But like I said, I guess we gotta trust. Listen, the Pistons, staff when it comes to these medical things, have shown themselves to be worthy.
Yeah.
We've dealt with previous injuries before, and these guys have really shown themselves. So if they're saying not just yet, I guess that's one of the things we got to trust the process. We got to trust these guys know what they're doing, and like I said, there's no rush to bring them back. So we got to rest them for a little bit to see if it clears up. Because to me, when it comes to surgeries, I have this phobia because I feel like once you get surgery and it open you up, it opens you up for other things to happen. So that's how I feel personally. Just knowing what surgeons have done to people in my family and what transpired after they get cut open. I can see the fear in that, and that's just me personally. It could be just something simple, but it always start off simple, and it could just rear on to other things. Like you got guys that's out there like AD. So he had his career been filled with surgeries since he got into the league. And I guess they want to say, listen, let's just see if it heals properly first before we start to put the needle to the guy.
Yeah. I want to say this right quick. Going back a couple games ago, man, I really want to get this out of my system. Dwayne Casey, man, his lineups at the end of the game, especially the New Orleans Pelicans game. King, you know I'm
nope.
You know what I'm gonna go. Why was Kojo in the game that late, and you put Alec Burke in at 18 seconds left? Why? Why? And you had a chance to win the game against New Orleans. You had a chance. I didn't understand Dwayne Casey in that game. Now the Memphis concern. They was in it for a little bit. I just think how Memphis is. They're a tough team, and to me, it's just not a good matchup for the Pistons against the Grizzlies. There's both times that they let John Morant get off in the third quarter. He didn't get off like he did at the LCA, where he scored 21 points in the third quarter alone. He scored, I forgot how much when they was at home Friday, but Dwayne Casey and these stupid lineups.
Well, let me jump into that.
Is unstoppable though.
Right, that's one. But let me get into that notion because I know people question that, and I want to give my input on as to why that was, because you had Kojo and you had Killian at that time frame, both being at the time. You had two guys that knows the system. No two guys know the system more than those two guys. So at the end of the game, you got two ball handlers that know where things supposed to be and supposed to go. Yeah, you would like to have Burks being in that position, but he's still not fully in a position to know where he needs to be during that time with those play calls being going on. So that's the reason why I feel that they had Kojo at that moment, because he knows what the plays and what's supposed to be. And if something was to happen because during those stretches, Killian became like that guy that was trying to be the guy to make the shots at the end. So if he had to get doubled, at least he could kick it out to Kojo, and Kojo know where to go, where the guy's supposed to be. That's how I felt. That's why that was.
I understand where you're saying that's a valid point, but Kojo didn't do anything in that game. He didn't give you nothing in that game. So my thing is, why is he out there? He's a liability on defense already.
Because you don't have nobody else. That's what I'm saying. At that moment that you could put in at that time.
I would have put Kevin Knox in before I would have made Kojo out there.
But you need guys that can handle the ball, that can run the plays. That's what I'm saying. He's there for that purpose. He's only the reason why they put him in there because he knows what plays and how things supposed to go. He may not be out there to shoot because you seen him when he just passed it off to Killian and he stood off to the side and let Killian work. But in those moments, you need guys that Knox hasn't been here fully. Burks hasn't been here fully. Those are the guys that that you trust at that moment. Listen, I got two guys out there that I know and trust that knows my system, know where to go and where to be for that particular time. And right now, like I said, we got to deal with that because, like I said, we're still not at full strength. If Cunningham was here, you wouldn't see Kojo out there at the times because we got a full plethora of guys that we could be on there, but we don't have them. So unfortunately, you got to deal with what we have. And because he's a guy that knows the offense, that's why he will be at that position at that time. It worked before a couple of weeks ago when we was out there on the West Coast trip. And long as he's not turning the ball, of which he's not offensively productive, but he hasn't been making mistakes like he usually does early on in the season. So you got to deal with it as it comes.
Y'all got to back up. Let's say
you got to listen. I know. See, with what you guys is like, y'all harping on certain guys because y'all don't like them. I know everybody don't like them, but y'all got to get out of yourselves and understand the game and what we have. We don't have. It is that
0 points.
He has 0.
Right, but like I said, it's the moment. It's the moment where if you look at the lineup and what was going on in that game, it was that moment. He wasn't even there to even be
okay. Like I was watching.
I can get it if he was willing and dealing out there. The man had 3 assists, and those was in the first half. He didn't do anything in the second half. He had no reason to be on the court at all. If you don't have a donut, give me some passes, give me some defense.
But you guys got to look at what the play was. It was isolated for Killian. That play was. But at that time, we got to think about what we're looking for at the time. If something was, you got to think about y'all got to put your coach's hat on. If you wanted Killian to be that guy, because you know how Killian moves, he dribbles, he gets the way he gets to. If somebody was to double in on Killian and they're calling the plays for other guys and Killian has to kick the ball out, if Kojo's there and Kojo knows where to go and know what the play is calling, Burks, he hasn't been fully here yet. He hasn't been fully in depth into Casey's offense yet. Knox hasn't been fully yet because he's been back and forth. So you got to go, unfortunately, with the guys that you know. And unfortunately, it's an unfortunate situation that we got to go with Kojo.
Hey, hold on.
I know it sucks. It sucks, yeah, but because we don't have the depth, you got to go with guys you know at that moment.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Big Willie. Why is Kojo wasn't in the game when they played Dallas and Dallas won the game, even though they went to overtime?
Because Killian was hot. Killian was scoring. Bojan was scoring.
And Killian played a good game against New Orleans.
And Jaden Ivey was scoring too. So when those guys are hot, they're scoring. But y'all got to also remember this too. Ivey hasn't been consistent those last couple of games. He's been kind of up and down. He's been a little antsy. So normally Ivey would be in that position that Kojo's in. Right. But because he hasn't been secure with the ball,
that's not why he was out. Ivey was out because of his knee.
Yeah,
I know that game was, but before, remember?
No, I'm talking about in that moment.
At that. But see, that's what I'm saying. There's circumstances that put Kojo there that normally wouldn't be. Before when Kojo had
Burks. It's still.
I wanted it to be Burks because he's a scoring threat. But the way I'm thinking is about what the play was asking for, what the call was asking for. So you may need two guys out there that knows those plays and know where to put guys and have guys in the position.
Kojo played too many dang on minutes. He wasn't supposed to play no more than 20 minutes.
He played 21 minutes in like the second half. That was ridiculous.
But
like,
it didn't.
I want to to you. I just can't argue with them. I can't.
It's not an argument. But what I'm saying is, the other choices that we had is not. It hasn't been guaranteed, is what I'm saying.
And then he's not. And then Kojo's not giving you. Look at them
for that same argument that you're making. They saying that about Kojo. Kojo wasn't guaranteed that game. In that second half, he wasn't doing anything good. You have Burks, you have Diallo, and you have Kevin Knox all sitting on the bench. who probably could get you a bucket because Kojo wasn't getting it at that time.
Mm-mm.
If it's different if Kojo was out there, like I said, wheeling and dealing, finding guys open. He wasn't doing that either. So everybody was sitting there looking at the TV like, take this man out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But when they got that timeout, that's what I'm saying. When they drew up those plays, that's what I'm saying. It was the moment.
But that's what I'm saying. You harping on one play. We're talking about the whole half.
But him being out there, if you watch the game, yeah, he didn't score none, but he was buying time. That's what Kojo does. He buys time.
He was reliable on. He's liable on defense.
But
he can't play defense.
But we don't have depth enough to where we can say just go off. You get him off. If you got a guy like Ivy struggling, if you got guys that's in foul trouble, we don't have a choice. Is what I'm trying to say.
Man, look, you got Kevin Nash, you got Burke.
But if these guys are in foul trouble, if these guys are in his shot, and those guys, we need guards. We need guard play. Our main guard is down. You guys don't want Bogdanovich pushing the ball up. Ivy hasn't been consistent. You got Killian that's been progressive, but he gets tired too. What options do you have? Yeah. We got it. We going. It's a sucky situation, but like I said, I see where that was going. Nobody wants Kojo to be in at the last moment, but at this point in time, the way the Pistons is set up, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Wasn't that the game where Knox had like 20? That game
against New Orleans?
Yeah,
I think so.
I'll have to check on that and see.
I think so. Not as 100%.
It's just like, man, because I was just sitting there. I was trying to figure this thing out. Like, bro, like this ain't. You got to get him out right now. And I wasn't even saying that from the jokingly hate Kojo type of thing. You know what I'm saying, that I do. I'm looking at TV like, bro, you got to put somebody else in this game because he's not giving you zero. He's giving you nothing whatsoever. Usually I can, when Kojo ain't scoring, hey, he's finding guys out there. He's running some things out there. He wasn't giving you shit.
He gave them guys time, and that's what I'm trying to get. It's like we got these young guys that you guys wanted to be able to take over in later in the games. But if you say he didn't give you nothing, he at least gave you time to get those guys some rest. The guys got to rest. Ivy got to rest.
Understand that.
Gilly has to rest.
I'll even give you that, but I'd rather watch Diallo than Corey Joseph out there in that span, not just for the play. In that span, he was out there.
Yeah,
I'd rather watch Diallo. You know why? Because Diallo, if he can't get scoring going, one thing he can do is play defense. Stop somebody on the other team.
I'd rather watch everybody else too, of course. But we all know he's Casey's guy. He's Casey's guy. And at the end of the day, even y'all harp on that game, but you also got to think about when he had to come in for Killian and Hayes when they struggled on the West Coast, he took care of business. And tonight he came in, took care of business. So it's up and down. It's like damn if you do, damn if you don't, because there's gonna be times where he come in, take care of business. There's gonna be times where you be like, shit, I want him out. But he took care of business.
He had to come in.
I think that's most based on matchups. Like for instance, with that game,
he don't match up well with nobody.
That's what I'm saying. With this game tonight, the hot scorers were not guards. You know what I'm saying? The hot scorers are LeBron and Anthony Davis. Those are forwards. You know what I'm saying? So Corey Joseph ain't really got worried about somebody killing him as far as him, trying to defend somebody. It's these other guys that's doing.
But wouldn't you rather him come out there and get them damn fouls instead of our other guys though? Like he has to buy some time. We get him out there just to buy.
No, he got to play. He got to play.
Like we got to buy time, especially going against a guy like a Morant. You don't want. Especially we don't have depth at the guard, so we would rather him go out there, burn some time, get some fouls, and allow our young guys to be able to finish up. But like I said, till we improve this lineup, which like I said, probably come after the offseason, that's what we have to deal with.
And then Kojo had to come in the game early against Memphis Friday because Killian got into foul troubles early.
Like I said, with the Kojo, they even staggered in some Magruder.
Yeah, actually, they started Magruder when Killian got in trouble. Magruder started.
It started with Magruder.
So they're trying to keep that same pace where we want to give Killian the minutes and then allow Kojo to back him up, and then Ivy, and then like I said, it could be like a Diallo, it could be a Burks. I think they're trying to keep that line up together. Is what I believe they're trying to do. Like Burks come in right now for Ivy and Kojo come in for Killian, right now. Like I said, that's what something we have to deal with. And like I said, with that play, I knew it was gonna be frustration with him being out there, but I'm just thinking like, okay, this may be what that was. And I'm seeing how the play ran. The play was gonna run through Killian, and whatever he was gonna do, whether he was gonna shoot or pass, it was gonna be strongly up to him at that point. Because he, at a certain point in time, over this last couple weeks, he has earned that privilege to be able to be the guy that had the ball in his hand at the end of the game. Even though he had the other game, he made a critical turnover, which he tried to get around to Saddiq Bey. But, he's earned that right, in my opinion, to be able to be out there at those critical moments, which he wasn't before. So shout out to Killian for showing his growth as well.
Yeah, they just gotta like I said, man, they gotta keep figuring with these lineups. They got to, until they figure it out, until something can stick, man. Like I said, I think what's going to ultimately play a part in these lineups and the changes that we're seeing, whatever decision that they make with Cade Cunningham. I think after that, they'll go and they'll find them a solid lineup to stick with where we can get some consistency, because it's kind of hard for these guys to get chemistry as well when you playing tic-tac-toe with the lineups like this.
Exactly.
So we need some type of solid, set in stone lineup out here. Hey, this is who we're going to play. This is what we're going with.
How do you feel about Saddiq coming off the bench?
To me, whether he came off the bench or not, like I said, I think it was more about Saddiq getting himself going. To be honest, whether he come off the bench or not, I like him coming off the bench as a scoring punch. Fine, I get it. But to me, it was more about him getting himself going. So Saddiq was going through a mental phase where he was in his own head. And like I said, we seen that at the beginning of the season last season.
Yeah. It's kind of similar to what he was the first half of the season.
Yeah.
Last year, it's kind of be the same thing. So I don't know, like you say, it's a mental block or whatever it is. Like, I'm just hoping that it gets through, because like, it's one hand you be like, damn, this guy is on a trajectory to be like an all-star level. Then his other hand be like, damn, where you going? Where you at?
I like him coming off the bench. Couple reasons. I think one, he's still getting the minutes like as like a starter. He's still contributing off the bench that can help the bench, stay in the game. So to me personally, I'd rather him to still start, but the way he's playing, giving you points off the bench, and he's still getting a little starter minutes even off the bench. So I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah,
but I'd rather him to start.
Yeah, I would rather him not start because you got Bojan. As long as Bojan's on this team, I wouldn't rather Bey to start, because Bojan takes all the shots. Yeah, he takes shots away from Bey. So when Bey's on the bench, Bey can get his shots. So I would rather keep Bey on the bench simply because of that, because it's like a redundancy when you playing both of those guys in the starting lineup.
Right. Unless Bojan get hurt, then we throw Bey.
And I also don't want to ever see Bojan play 4 again. The man's a 3. He's not a 4.
Yeah, thank you.
That's simple as plain, man. Clear cut. Because Bojan trying to defend a power forward is disastrous.
Hey, listen, he was putting up some work against LeBron tonight, so he gave a little bit, but like with Bey, I can see that. Like I said, being him come up, he could be that scoring threat off the second unit would definitely help this lineup, and it's like he could flex between the starting lineup and the bench, and I don't see it being the issue, because it's not about whether you start or not. It's about the minutes that you're going to play and be productive in those minutes.
Well, and me personally, I know it may be wrong to say, but I don't care. I don't mind him coming off the bench. You know why? Because it keeps him cheap. He won't demand a lot of money. Okay. So that way I can keep him around.
But he's doing that to himself. I would say that he's doing it to himself. It's not like, okay, listen, we know that you're capable of, but you got to be consistent with it. And that's the only thing I would say with Saddiq Bey that I have is consistency. If he shows consistency, then I can see why you can get the consistent bag. But because you haven't been, you got to understand where we at with, because to be honest with you, Stewart has stepped up tremendously with his shot.
Man,
That
that
outfit.
shot is just gonna get
I'll
keep
never
getting better.
listen. I said I never want to see Bojan play the 4 again. I never want to see Stu play nothing but the 4 again. Do not put that man at 5 ever again, unless it's super
Small
tiny.
ball, small ball. Yeah, yeah. He's definitely grown with that shot. So if you, like you said, if he takes 4 of those and makes 2, that's 50%. He's shooting 50% for 3.
Yeah.
You can deal with that. I can deal with that.
Plus
Listen,
rebounds and all that other
plus
stuff.
rebound. I
Right?
guess like you got a guy like him rebound, and like you said with Durant, he gives you the boards. That's something that we need. Just getting those guys, more fluid with the offense. It could be a potent lineup, but like I said, it's always going to be what ifs because we don't have the main catalyst for this team available to be able to say what we can and we cannot do and what the lines should or shouldn't be. Because there's people questioning of Ivy and Killian being in the same lineup.
Why? All Killian do is pass him the ball. Why?
Because they feel that the way that Ivy plays,
I kind of, you know what?
you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy to me still. I kind of felt like that's where we was heading though when we did have Cade available. I kind of felt that way because some people was making comments saying that Ivy looked like, he's not happy being the guy in the background. Now that was a question about drafting him in some people's mind. So I don't think it's true whatsoever, but I can see where they kind of coming from with that. I kind of feel like they all feel, regardless if it's Kay, if it's Killian, or whoever else, that Ivy wants the ball and he wants to be the man. That's where I think that's coming from, and that's kind of interesting because what I watch, I don't really see that. I think he picks his moments. He picks his moments, even though sometimes he got to slow the hell down.
He got to learn how to land. That's his biggest problem for me. Jesus Christ.
Attacking speed is one thing, but having moves when you do attack the basket is something else. John Morant, when he attacks the basket, he has a plethora of moves, contortments, and body moves that he do to get his shot in. But Ivy is just speed right now, and that's it. He has to learn at the basket move,
and that will come. Like I said,
it will definitely come.
Oh yeah,
you're going to use what you know right now. That's what most rookies do. You're going to use what you know, and then everything else will come along with coaching and development. And I can see that progression. But like I said, it's still going to be a what if moment until we know what the situation with K. And that's the main catalyst of everything. We just got to know what we're going to do with the K situation, so we can know how we as fans can move forward, and as an organization, what we're going to look forward to. So it is what it is. So it's going to be a lot of growing pains and grunts and growing on with this lineup. We're going to be here to watch and see, and hopefully we get some good victories out of it. Because either way, the Pistons still have been playing competitive throughout these games, regardless. There haven't been too many games where they got away from themselves. I think the Memphis game, but other than that, everything has been coming down to fourth quarters. That's the way you like it. If we're not in position to make the playoffs, at least be competitive.
Except the Miami game when they beat Miami. When they took
it.
Man, when the hell are we gonna play some more Pacers in Orlando? And when our schedule gonna like?
Well, Pacers,
it won't stop.
we got Charlotte coming up Wednesday.
Sacramento coming into town.
Brooklyn coming to town, and Utah coming to town.
So hey, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to because they, like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see. You don't. It's honestly kind of like you don't know exactly what you're going to get out of who, but we're gonna be here to watch and see. And hopefully, like I said, we can steal a couple of games just like we did in Miami. It was a good chance tonight, and like I said, it's just gonna be that what if. I'm gonna get a shirt to say what if Detroit Pistons, man.
Yeah. Man. Listen. I'm gonna just say this, man. Is I before we get off the show, I gotta bring this up. I had an argument at work today, and fellas, it got good. It got real good. Jalen Duran, we all know he's a treat, right? And we know the fan base love him. Is Jalen Duran better than rookie Andre Drummond?
I'm gonna say no.
No.
I'm gonna say no.
So, with that said, now that's the first part of the argument. The second part of the argument is if he never develops an offensive game, does the fan base turn on him like they turned on Andre Drummond? I said hell no, because he actually has a team around him.
I can agree with that just because with the way Andre was brought in, they brought him in to like they were going to build inside out. They was going to build from what he possesses, and they was going to supposed to build around him with Durant, especially how the game has changed. So the type of game that we was expecting for Andre Drummond is not how the game is now. And the bigs are not the same either. So it's like to have that comparison, to me, it doesn't be quite fair because there was a different time and different schemes of things that Andre Drummond had to deal with as opposed to what Durant has to deal with. Durant has more freedom right now than what Drummond did. Drummond, he couldn't afford to make little his mistakes without the fan base, basically turning on him. But like I said, if he had others around, a lot of the things that he wasn't equipped with, it'd have been more forgiving or less on his back as opposed to what Durant has when he was a chance, because we got, like I said, we're expecting that from everyone else outside of Durant.
Yeah, and see that's the thing right there. It was the money played a big part of it. They tried to make him and advertise him as the guy on the team. Well, Durant doesn't have to worry about that. There's multiple other guys that's the guy on the team. All Durant has to do is go out there, rebound, block some shots, make a few highlight plays here and there, and everybody's going to love that. We're looking at two total different situations here. So that's where the argument cuts off and drops drastically right there. Horrible team built around Andre Drummond, great team built around Durant. Total different roles, total different situations.
And expectations is a lot different.
Yes. Oh, my God, yes.
Expectations. So that, like I said, that's not a fair comparison, in regards to that, because like I said, the expectation was Andre was supposed to be the man. Durant is not coming in to be the man. So I think that's a different debate. And like I said, different era, different type of big man.
Yeah. And plus the coaching. Like I said, Stan Van Gundy was trying to recreate Orlando, and it wasn't working out. He was trying to recreate another Dwight Howard, and that time had passed already. Yeah. So bad timing all the way around.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that said, Willie?
I think it's time for a quick little switch up, man. We got a little bit of college, little talk I wanted to get into. We can switch it up a little bit.
All right. A man with many hats. Oh, man.
Of course, we still, waiting on the season, as far as like the games goes, the college football playoffs. But there was a little bit of, college stuff going on this past weekend. Of course, we had some awards going on, as far as like, of course, the Heisman, Caleb winning the Heisman. And, I feel like one of our guys got a snub. There was some other awards out there, college football awards that was given out. Michigan was represented by Oluwatimi. He got 2 awards for that, outstanding interior lineman, Remington, and another one. And but other than that, as far as like the award goes, not only Michigan but the Big Ten as a whole, I feel like we got slighted in some regards. A lot of people felt that, and I'm agreeing, even though I'm not a Ohio State fan. Marvin Harrison Jr. should have got the best wide receiver award. A lot of us felt that looking at those Heisman candidates, one of our guys, Blake Crum, even though he got hurt, still should have been up there. I mean, Stetson Bennett. I mean, come on, he's a good quarterback, but him being up there, it was kind of like we got to have quarterbacks up there, so we're just gonna throw them up there. So, I feel some snubs going on.
Yeah, I already knew it. Once Corum got hurt, I knew it was a wrap on that situation. But yeah, that Stetson situation was just like, Yeah, so, oh, and of course, King Davis comes back. Comes back.
Oh, well, so you ain't here to talk your Sparty talk, so you're gonna have to leave that to yourself.
Right.
We ain't gonna even want to go there.
But everyone is still preparing for the college football playoffs. Of course, Michigan takes on TCU. The first round, Ohio State takes on Georgia. Everyone predictions that most of everyone prediction think it's going to be a Michigan and Georgia rematch to be the finals this year. But with all that going on, we that transfer portal went crazy at the beginning of the week, starting December 5th. It was over. They're saying it was over 1,000 transfers put in that day alone.
And 80% of them was quarterbacks. Good Lord.
A lot of quarterbacks, a lot of players, particularly like who's leading right now, I believe Texas A&M had a lot of transfer. Yeah. And with them, everyone's seen that coming because they had the top class the last couple of years, and primarily they're based off of because they have great NIL deals on there. And a lot of those guys hitting the transfer portal are also leaving for, better NIL deals as well, or thinking they're going to get better NIL deals as well. So it's kind of like a free agency frenzy right now. You get a lot of people who's leaving, a lot of people partaking in. So it's intriguing, man. It's something I believe with the amount of guys being transferred, they're going to have to put like some type of restriction again or cap on that, because it went crazy, the amount of guys that left. And I know it's going to be intriguing now that we got one particular guy who moved on from Jackson State going up to Colorado that took a lot of heat too, man. We got to talk about that.
Let me ask you how y'all feel about that.
We got listen. I'm going to I got a message a certain community out there, and I want y'all to hear me and hear me well. Me personally, we all know a lot of us on here on this show, we look the same, right? To that community, y'all need to shut your damn mouths, man. Shut your goddamn mouth about Deion Sanders. This man was giving you everything that he was giving you over there for pennies. And the pennies that you gave him, he gave elsewhere. So for y'all to sit up here and say, oh, prime this and prime that, bro, why is it with this community that you always want somebody to do something for fucking free? I don't understand it. Be quiet. This man, he deserves his opportunity. Mm-hmm. Shut your damn mouth. Be quiet. Yep. Because all of these people complaining, I ain't seen you do not one goddamn thing. Nothing. You've done nothing. You don't have you don't have the right to speak. Period. You don't have the right to speak. Shut up. You didn't care about Jackson State until he got there. So all of y'all, oh, he ain't do this for this community, and he a coon and everything, bro. Shut up. Be quiet. Go sit back on the couch.
Go sit on. Right. I would say this. Was he wrong for leaving? Absolutely not.
Hell no.
But I can understand a little bit of the frustration of it, just because, the way he went about, the way what people thought that he was trying to do. I think people had a perception thinking that he was coming in basically like to shock the world. He was about to make, the HBCU a thing, which is going to change the landscape of college football. And he came in with that notion. Now, I will say this. They didn't appreciate what Deion Sanders did by the way they acted when he got there. He had low salary. He donated majority of his salary.
He used his own money.
Used his own money. The facilities wasn't up to par. They was breaking into his office, stealing his belongings, breaking into his son's cars. They didn't do right by the books when it came to the gates and stuff. So everybody wanted him to sacrifice everything, but no one gave nothing in return.
No one came along for the ride with this man. This man went to a lot of those celebrities that y'all love to support and follow and chase behind. He went to a lot of those big names, from your Jay-Z's to your Diddy's to all of these people. And you know what? They gave him nothing. Nothing. So if you want to complain about them bastards, because they've been doing the best to show you that they don't care about you in the least sense. That's who you need to complain about. Stop complaining about Prime. Let that man take his luggage to Colorado and get rid of all them bums over there and do something from there. He's still paving the way. Even though he left, he's still paving the way for guys who look like him to have an avenue to get into some of these bigger situations. He's still doing that. But nobody says nothing about none of them other clowns that didn't want nothing to do with it at all. Stop making excuses about this damn community. Because the only thing, you know what? Fuck that. Black people, the only thing that we can do is talk. Only thing we do is run our goddamn mouth. That's it. Oh, this, blah, blah, that, blah, blah. But we don't do shit.
Yep.
Nothing. So that's just what it is, bro.
And you absolutely 100% spot on, Kane. And like I said, man, people need to shut their mouths. Deion didn't say he was gonna stay at Jackson State forever. He didn't say he was. This is an opportunity he took to go to Colorado to get that program back to relevancy. This is an opportunity for him. And to guys, people going out here saying that he doesn't belong, he doesn't even deserve to be a head coach at Colorado. Stop it, man. This is an opportunity. Now, if it was Florida State, they wouldn't say no. Oh, because of course he's from there. He went to Florida State. Like you said, you spot on, King, man. It was just it was ridiculous. Especially
it was the crowds. Y'all got y'all nerve for y'all funky dog head asses to be out there playing that with music that y'all was playing, saying the stuff y'all was saying in them crowds. Well, keep sitting y'all ass on them concrete ass benches. That's y'all need to keep doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all, bro, he went to that university and asked for certain things. They said no. They wanted nothing to do with any of that. But are y'all protesting? No. No. Y'all got a problem with Deion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, like, come on, man. This ain't rocket science.
I think it was just a lot of emotional reaction off the top. Like I said, it's something that we recognize because we feel like, like you said, our kind is like everybody's supposed to be tied in, or he's supposed to look out for the brother man, but we will bleed these people dry and not contribute to it. And that's the problem I have with people who speaking on Deion and on him leaving. Y'all would rather bleed him dry, use all his resources up, but not invest back into not only him and his family, but into the schools. And that was my problem with the whole situation when they was crying about him leaving. Yeah, it was a great opportunity that he could have brought others around that would have built that up. But everybody that he would have to brought in behind him would have been doing the same thing he doing, and they would have to go into their pockets and use all their resources, the people that they know, the athletes, the celebrities, the other former players, the sacrifice that they would have to make for these schools. And I hope someone take up the mantle. I hope someone take up the torch that Deion had and say, you know what? I see what you were doing. I see what you did, but now I'm about to take it the next step further. And they can build up them HBCUs because not only, there's great athletes in those HBCUs, but those are great schools that could use, the proper fundings to be able to keep these schools open and keep these schools flourishing, by, what the, athletic departments are doing. So definitely, I hope people see that not as a strike, but as a stepping stone for other great athletes to be coming and coaching in and bring those great athletes down in there as well.
He actually did. He actually did spark a couple of athletes. One of them is Mo Williams, man. They used to play for the Cavs. Head coach at Jackson State for the basketball team.
Yeah.
And they just got their first win the other day up under him. So, hopefully him being the one to start the fire, hopefully we see more and more of these athletes go that same route. These ex-athletes go that same route and try to build something in these HBCUs, man. But coming at Deion was just disgusting.
It was ridiculous.
Disgusting, man. And it's something that we always do, and I'm tired of letting us off the hook for it. We never want to hold ourselves accountable for anything. We just want to make excuses and blame everything else. We never want to take ownership of situations. Bro, y'all should have been protesting that university. If you had anything to say, it should have been towards that university. Bro, we need to keep this man around here. What y'all gonna do about that? Not only that, not the university is one thing, but the community, all those rich people in the community, they wanted nothing to do with Deion either. They didn't want to chip into anything.
But now they want to complain now that he's gone when he was bringing it attention. So it was a lot of mess on it. But like I said, it could be some positives. I'm hoping that come from this and guys take up, like I said, the mantle and take what Deion was willing to do, because like I said, he made the sacrifice. And then a lot of it wasn't just that, but a lot of those Power 5 or those FBS schools didn't want to take a chance on Deion. Deion came from high school to come up and to coach. They want to take a chance on him, but now it's like he was the hottest thing smoking because of what he did and what he brought down to HBCU, and a lot of it has to do with recruiting, because he was taking a lot of those guys away from these major conferences, and they seen that, so they were like, I'd rather have him in the conference and let him do the recruiting instead of him taking those type of guys away, which we all know it's all about business with these universities. They don't really mirror as much, and I think that's why they was willing to get Deion over there and pay him that amount of money that they don't fully have, just because they know what potential that he could bring millions to close to billions to that university.
Yeah, that's just, man. Like I said, I just had to get that out, man, because I was just infuriated by that situation.
Thank you for bringing that up, man.
But it was just but that's why we're here to talk about it, man, because these things not only it affects all of us, and especially like guys like us, with our the skin color that we have so much stuff that gets put on us as athletes, as coaches, as fathers, as black men. Just being a black man in this country, there's certain things and certain attributes that gets put on us, not only from other races and cultures, but our own. That if we're not careful with what we do, what we say, how we act, people will try to cancel, shun, or dismiss us. Mm-hmm. And it's a pressure that I don't see other races of people, other cultures have to deal with. No. And the fact that we get slack from our own is disturbing, and it hurts. And like I said, you're gonna get reactions like from King and others that say, "Hey, man, listen, that's not cool. Listen, you could be upset that he left, but choose your words wisely and understand what's going on and speak with some intelligence about the situation, like grown adults."
Yeah.
And act like grown adults.
Mm-hmm.
Check your emotions, in my opinion. In that situation, check your emotions.
And you should be able to support supporting one another, man. Not trying to down somebody, man. Like I said with Deion, man, this is a great opportunity for him to go to a bigger university, saying to get that program back up to relevancy, and to see especially our peoples, man, our black people just act the way they act, just a bunch of nonsense and stupid ignorance, man. Mm-hmm. Why, man? It's even just like a regular job or something. Like you get a promotion, man. Don't sit up here hating on a person, man. Congratulating. Show love and support, man. I just didn't like that, man.
Indeed. But we're gonna grow from that, man. But With that being said, listen, we coming up on 11 o'clock p.m. I think we chopped it up enough with you guys, man. This has been another fun show, man. So we're gonna go ahead with the final thoughts, man. Daryl, man, you got any final thoughts for us, my brother?
Man, the Lions, man, trust the process, man. It's taking a game at a time, man. We got the Jets coming up. It's gonna be a tough one. Stay the course, man. It was Jared Goff, man. You played your ass off today. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Man, I'm so proud of this damn team, the Lions, man. They defense is still a work in progress, but you showed the growth. The growth and the guys keep playing hard. Just stay the course, taking a game at a time. So I'm proud of the Lions, man. Just let's go ahead and let's take care of business against the Jets next on Sunday. The Pistons, still a work in progress. We're dealing with some injuries. Isaiah Livers, Cade, guys, but Dwayne Casey. Willie King, man, you already know. Dwayne Casey, man. We ain't gonna get there, but Pistons, it's still got a lot of growing to do, man. Like I said, we got a tough week this week, except for Charlotte, but they got a tough week, man. Just taking a game at a time, man. Y'all guys been playing hard. We just gotta finish to close the deal, man. Let's learn how to finish closing games out. And as far as Michigan, still got a little, a couple weeks before the big game against TCU. Me personally, I don't think Caleb Williams should have won the Heisman. I think if Blake Corum was healthy, he would have, to me, would have won it. But that's pretty much all I got to say, man.
Indeed, we appreciate you, Daryl, man. King, man, final thoughts.
Same for both our young squads, man. We just got to continue to watch these teams grow and get better. Obviously, it's going to take longer for the Pistons. Basketball, they play a lot more games and a lot more closer games, so they don't have an entire week off to practice and work on things. So we have to see this thing develop on the court for them young fellas. Hopefully, we get some news soon, and the Pistons to go ahead and make some decisions and finalize some type of rotation out there that these guys can get comfortable with, man. Other than that, we still waiting, for college football finish up. But, like I said, we just gotta take care of business, man. Once we do get to that point with Georgia, we got to come out swinging. We got to come out punching them in the balls first, man. That's just simple and plain, dude. We can't pussyfoot it around like we be doing with some of these other squads. We got to come out aggressive, and we got to be ready. So hopefully Harbaugh had them guys ready and that coaching staff, and I can't wait.
Indeed. Well, I want to say shout out to the Detroit Lions once again for this unbelievable turnaround in the midst of their season. Something like this, like I said, you're not used to seeing around here, and being able to get up for games has definitely been a treat. With the Pistons, like I said, because our main catalyst is down right now, we're going to grow through these growing pains. But I'm seeing positives in a lot of those guys, especially the guys that's coming off the bench. Knox has been playing better. Burks, he's been a treat to watch out there. And a few others, Durant and his growth. I look forward to, those guys developing. Like I said, to me, I feel like it's a chemistry thing because, like I said, none of these guys are used to playing together. Let's be honest. Everybody just first and second year, nobody's really played fully together. So it's going to come, but we're going to keep in touch with that. As far as Michigan goes, I'm anxious, but I'm thinking they're using this time wisely. Also, got to make sure I do this. Give a shout out to our official sponsor, Coach of Detroit, located down at the Avenue of Fashion, 19326 Livernois. And in fact, just earlier this week, a couple of our back-to-back Big Ten champions was in the store. They was in the store. I don't know if you can better pull that up or not, King. But yeah, the guys came and showed some love, and you know, shout out to my guy Culture. He went to the game with you today. He said, you know, the guys came in. It's like, how'd you hear about the store? Oh man, the guy, you know, on We3Kings, you know, gave us the info, man, on the gram. So shout out to those guys for showing us love and coming into the store, man. We definitely gonna make sure we post that on our Twitter page so you guys can see some of the guys from the Michigan football team come into the store. Also, I would like to say this, you know, we got things up and coming like We3Kings. We, like I said, with raffles, with giveaways that we're trying to do. Right now, Big A, he's working in the background of getting those packages together, getting those, you know, those cars out to us. Like I say, if you guys don't know already, he stays in New Mexico. So, you like I say, it gets some little time to get that stuff together. But the stuff does come at a price. So, you know, we do ask that you guys, if you can, like I say, you guys come into our home. Like I said, we share with you guys. We want to continue to share with you guys. But, you know, we also, you know, want y'all to show us some love back. So we do ask you guys, you know, if you could donate. Our Cash App, you see, is going across the screen. We definitely could appreciate it because the things that we're doing, the money that we use, you guys contribute to, we've given it back to you guys. And that's what we're doing. Like I said, this stuff is not coming cheap. We want to be able to treat you guys, the tickets, the cards, other products that we got up and coming. We're coming out of our own pockets to do so because, like I said, we want to be able to show you guys some love. And all we ask is that y'all show us love in return, man. You guys have been kicking it with us, and we thank you and appreciate that. So any donation that you guys feel necessary to give, please feel free to do so because we definitely will return the favor to you guys. And Derek can contest to that. Like I said, he was a benefit of one of our raffles, and then we have several others too that guys have benefited from too. So we definitely appreciate you guys for rocking with us. It's been a good night, but it's time to say good night. Oh. So with that being said, We3Kings out. Till next time, baby.
Peace.
Peace.